The city aquarium buzzes with excitement as guests arrive for the underwater show.
A girl excitedly shows off the glittering mermaid tail she'll wear for today's performance.
The pink-haired girl encourages Yiming to prepare for their upcoming aquatic show.
Yiming's shimmering blue tail draws admiration for its incredibly lifelike and natural appearance.
Beneath the water, his scales sparkle with an ethereal glow that defies mere costume materials. He secretly prides himself on the grace of Poseidon, a divine trait of his race.
While playing it off as a professional secret, Yiming confirms his identity as a mermaid.
The announcement rings out as the vibrant mermaid performance is officially set to begin.
Eager spectators gather at the glass as Yiming and his companions greet the crowd.
Despite the exhaustion of constant smiling, Yiming warmly interacts with the excited young audience. He spots a handsome stranger in the crowd, momentarily distracted from his bubble heart routine.
Captivated by the boy's appearance, Yiming realizes the human is exactly his type.
Watching the human draw, Yiming feels a sudden, intense desire to know him better.
He swims playfully, desperate to catch the attention of the focused artist.
A sudden rhythmic bang sounds as a troublesome child begins hitting the aquarium glass.
Yiming crosses his arms in a stern rebuke, demanding the boy stop his behavior. The bratty child responds with a mocking gesture, completely unfazed by the mermaid's irritation.
Rage simmers within Yiming as he wishes someone would stop the relentless glass banging.
The handsome boy intervenes, warning the child about the terrifying legends of angry mermaids.
The child hesitates, fearful despite his claims that the performers are merely fakes.
Lu Chuan points toward the tank, highlighting Yiming's intense, arguably predatory glare. Up close, Yiming is further enamored by the human's striking features and kindness.
Lu Chuan manages to successfully calm the situation, much to the mermaid's relief.
A cheerful smile and an okay sign from Lu Chuan leave Yiming thoroughly impressed. His heart flutters as he deems the human as genuinely kind as he is beautiful. As the show nears its end, the human waves a friendly goodbye to the tank. Yiming freezes in surprise, wondering if the handsome stranger is specifically calling for him.
The artist offers a warm, radiant smile that leaves the mermaid completely starstruck.
Yiming watches him intently, unable to look away from the charming human. The human presses a sketchbook against the glass, revealing a surprise for the performer. It is a masterful sketch capturing Yiming's likeness amidst the swirling bubbles. Overwhelmed and speechless, Yiming struggles to find a way to respond to the gesture. The human walks away, leaving the mermaid stunned and searching for his next move.
His coworker notes that Yiming is still lingering in the tank long after finishing.
He dives gracefully, leaving a trail of bubbles shaped into a massive, shimmering heart.
The crowd, including the artist and the bratty boy, watches the spectacular display in awe.
Yiming beams with joy, feeling a renewed sense of happiness after the encounter. A sudden, sharp gasp sounds as he breaks the surface, catching his breath. To the shock of his friends, Yiming joyfully announces that he's found someone special. Outside, a heavy pour begins as Yiming stands stranded at the aquarium entrance. He laments the inaccurate weather forecast, realizing he is completely unprepared for the rain. Looking over, he finds the handsome artist also waiting out the storm nearby. Lu Chuan approaches, causing the blue-haired boy to blush and panic internally. The human recognizes him as the mermaid from the show, bridging their aquatic gap.
Lu Chuan asks if they can head to the entrance together to hail a taxi.
Nervous and flustered, Yiming admits he also failed to bring an umbrella today. Despite the inconvenience, the mermaid secretly loves the rain and the chance to be near him. The rainfall intensifies, making their shared predicament even more intimate and unavoidable. Yiming decides to head out first, offering a small, makeshift cover for protection.
Under a shared blue sheet, Lu Chuan and Yiming finally introduce themselves to one another.
Huddled together under a blue sheet, Yiming blushes intensely from their sudden closeness. Taking advantage of the intimate shelter, the mermaid boy smiles softly while leaning toward his companion. Dreaming of romance found in comics, the mermaid checks for a taxi only to find none.
Seeing the boy is stranded, Lu Chuan kindly invites him to take shelter at his home.
Arriving at the apartment, the artist offers dry clothes and a place to rest.
Lu Chuan beams with a bright, welcoming expression that leaves the mermaid quite breathless.
Shock fills the room as Lu Chuan notices a massive bathtub sitting in the living area. Panicking, Yiming realizes humans find living room bathtubs incredibly strange and struggles to explain. Internally screaming, the mermaid boy desperately tries to invent a logical reason for his home decor. He hastily throws a pillow into the tub, pretending it's just a very unique piece of furniture. Yiming claims the bathtub helps him stay in character for his mermaid job at the aquarium. A heavy silence falls as the mermaid boy worries his excuse made him seem even more bizarre. Leaning against the basin, the artist observes the unusual setup, while the mermaid boy trembles with nerves.
To his relief, Lu Chuan finds the setup interesting rather than strange, easing the boy's anxiety.
The artist admits his initial confusion but laughs it off, causing the boy to blush.
Lu Chuan gently encourages him to ignore judgment and simply be true to himself. Touched by the man's kindness, Yimeng feels a deep sense of empathy radiating from him.
Memories of the show resurface, highlighting how the artist was captivated by the mermaid's fluid grace.
Underwater, the mermaid boy's performance was so natural it defied the reality of human movement.
While the artist focused on his work, the mermaid couldn't help but be drawn to him.
After the performance, Lu Chuan bid his friends farewell to handle unfinished business alone.
Back in the living room, the artist offers to share his personal sketches with the boy.
Curious and eager, the mermaid boy takes the sketchbook to see the world through Lu Chuan's eyes.
He gazes at the detailed drawings of aquatic life, mesmerized by the artist's incredible talent.
As he praises the work, the mermaid accidentally refers to people as humans, sparking the man's curiosity. Admiring his own likeness in the sketches, the boy wonders if the artist finds him handsome.
Lu Chuan asks for his opinion, hoping he didn't fail to capture the boy's natural charm.
A sudden, loud grumble echoes from the boy's stomach, shattering the romantic atmosphere with hunger.
Laughing, the artist offers to order food to thank him for his company. The mermaid boy finds the seasoned human food incredibly delicious, despite its unfamiliarity. Finishing every bite, the boy leaves a clean bowl, earning a playful compliment from his host.
Embarrassed by his appetite, he frantically explains he doesn't usually eat this much.
As the rain worsens, Yimeng offers a bed, but the man questions his blind trust.
Lu Chuan teases him about the dangers of bad people, making the boy puff out his chest.
Confidently, the boy declares he'd toss any bad human straight into the depths of the sea. Patting the boy's head, the artist laughs off the threat as a cute, harmless joke.
Determined to prove mermaid strength, the boy insists on a demonstration of his hidden power. He takes the artist's hand, promising to be gentle during their brief display of strength. A sudden, sharp crack sounds as the mermaid boy accidentally applies way too much pressure.
Doubled over in pain, the artist fears his hand might actually be broken. Satisfied with his show of force, the cheerful mermaid boy heads toward the bedroom. Finally alone, he dives back into his bathtub, overjoyed that his crush is staying the night. Visions of dating and intimacy flood his mind, leaving the mermaid boy flustered and mortified.
He ponders the complex art of human courtship, feeling utterly stuck on how to proceed.
In the quiet of the night, Lu Chuan checks his phone, recalling his own mermaid-inspired art. A sudden, heavy splash draws the artist toward the living room to investigate the noise. His breath hitches as he finds a real mermaid tail shimmering in the water before him. Dashing to the bathroom, Lu Chuan splashes cold water on his face to wake from the stream. Facing his reflection, he grapples with the shock of discovering the boy's incredible, mythological secret.
Despite the logic of reporting a creature, the artist realizes the mermaid boy is harmless and kind.
Lu Chuan reflects on the mermaid boy's cuteness while noting he works at the aquarium. He feels increasingly bothered, unable to understand why the boy wants to integrate into human society.
Recalling the earlier threat, Lu Chuan realizes the blue-haired mermaid is actually quite dangerous.
In a playful vision, Yimeng asks if he can prepare a meal on his own. The mermaid boy worries that his unique cooking style wouldn't be suitable for human tastes.
Lu Chuan watches in horror as Yimeng poaches a whole uncleaned fish in a pot.
A heavy sigh escapes them both as they stare at the inedible, scaly dish. After a proper meal, a satisfied burp sounds as Lu Chuan prepares to head out. He leaves their future encounters to fate, while the blue-haired boy agrees with romantic enthusiasm. Yimeng excitedly daydreams about future dates and wearing matching couple outfits with his crush. The two boys walk down the sidewalk together, maintaining a polite distance.
Lu Chuan stops suddenly, realizing the mermaid boy is still following closely behind him.
Panic swirls in the artist's mind as he wonders why the boy is still trailing him.
Yimeng pauses with a confused expression, wondering why Lu Chuan has suddenly turned around. The blue-haired boy reveals that he is actually a student at the local music academy. Complete shock fills Lu Chuan as he realizes that even mermaids have to attend school.
The scene shifts to a subway station as the train prepares for its next stop.
Yimeng boards the train, delighted by the fated coincidence of their schools being nearby.
Lu Chuan grows suspicious of the boy's persistent attempts to get closer to him.
Yimeng debates with himself about when to set their next appointment for a gate. While the boy ponders, Lu Chuan watches his curious behavior with a mix of confusion. Without hesitation, Lu Chuan mentions his love for the sea, catching the mermaid boy's attention. Panicking at his near slip, Yimeng quickly insists he meant the sea is simply beautiful. Lu Chuan praises the boy's talent, noting how difficult it is to enter the conservatory. He finds the boy's pure, undisguised emotions a refreshing change from the humans he knows.
Lu Chuan worries that such an innocent character will be easily exploited in human society.
A sudden, sharp shout interrupts their conversation as a girl confronts a man on the train.
The man dismisses her, claiming the crowded subway justifies his inappropriate physical contact.
Flustered and angry, the girl accuses him of touching her while the boys watch in tenbei.
Lu Chuan intervenes, loudly calling out the man's behavior in front of all the passengers. He brands the man a rascal and demands he speak to the police about his actions.
Other passengers join the confrontation, announcing that the police have already been alerted.
The man aggressively tells Lu Chuan to move, but the artist remains firm and protective.
Yiming's expression turns cold and predatory as he stares down the arrogant harasser.
The man shoves Lu Chuan aside, but a hand suddenly stops his escape with force.
Yiming seizes the harasser by the hair, his eyes shining with a dangerous intensity.
With overwhelming strength, the mermaid boy slams the man face down onto the subway floor. The harasser cries out in pain as Yiming pins him down with effortless power.
Lu Chuan quickly warns his companion not to break the man's arm during the struggle.
The mermaid boy looks up, his glowing blue eyes momentarily reflecting his true wild nature.
Lu Chuan urges Yao Meng to calm down and avoid being impulsive during the arrest. A heavy sigh sounds from the pinned man, who laments meeting such a madman today.
A black-haired classmate approaches and invites Yiming to head toward the auditorium together.
Yiming introduces his friend Aji to Lu Chuan before the two groups separate.
Ashi suspiciously questions the blue-haired boy about his new handsome acquaintance.
He warns the mermaid to be wary of humans, but Yiming remains smitten.
Internalizing the advice, Yiming resolves to stay focused on pursuing Lu Chuan exclusively.
A sharp tisk sounds as Aji chides him for ignoring his warnings about humans.
Lu Chuan watches them walk away, suspecting their relationship is deeper than just friendship.
Later at the academy, Lu Chuan is distracted by a friend repeatedly calling his name.
Aji questions Yiming about his whereabouts after he failed to return home.
Finishing their work, Aji prepares to leave while Yiming lingers in vat.
Yiming blushes while looking at rehearsal photos, his mind drifting back to his crush.
Walking through the academy, the boy recalls being called an interesting little mermaid by Lu Chuan. Melodic strains of a violin fill the air during Yiming's peaceful moment of rest.
The rehearsal concludes and the conductor grants the student orchestra a well-deserved break from practice. Yiming debates whether he should invite Lu Chuan to his official performance next week.
Blushing furiously, the chibi mermaid boy imagines another fated meeting with the handsome artist.
Aji suddenly appears, catching Yiming in the middle of drafting a secret message. Aji harshly criticizes the performance, claiming Lu Chuan won't even hear the faint harp.
The cold critique leaves the cheapy mermaid boy feeling completely crushed and teary-eyed with doubt.
A firm voice promises to attend the performance, bringing a sudden ray of hope.
Lu Chuan arrives unexpectedly, defending Yiming's invitation from Aji's cynical interference.
Smiling warmly, the peach-haired artist invites the flustered boy to get some fresh air.
Aji watches with deep suspicion, questioning Yiming's trust in this handsome, unknown stranger.
The group stands together on the auditorium stage as the rehearsal period officially ends.
Yiming heads off with Lu Chuan, leaving a grumbling Aji behind on stage. Memories of the past resurface, showing the mermaid boy preparing for a journey ashore.
In a flashback, a younger Lu Chuan accidentally drops his pocket watch overboard.
The artist laughs off the loss, unaware he is being watched from the blue depths.
A companion notes that many expensive jewels have been lost to the sea lately.
Chibi Lu Chuan remains carefree, unbothered by his string of clumsy, expensive accidents.
He confidently declares that he will eventually recover everything he has lost to the sea.
Beneath the waves, the mermaid has faithfully collected every treasure Lu Chuan accidentally dropped.
Determined to find the man, Yiming prepares to go ashore with his collected hoard.
Surface-bound, the mermaid boy navigates the night sea, draped in glittering human jewelry.
Disaster strikes as Yiming is ensnared in a net by greedy human smugglers.
Trapped and helpless, the mermaid boy gazes sadly through the thick ropes of the net.
The smugglers gloat over their rare treasure, planning to auction him for a massive fortune. A sudden crash interrupts the capture as a barrel flies toward the startled men. Lu Chuan appears at the water's edge, looking worriedly at the captured mermaid boy.
Wide-eyed with shock, the trapped chibi mermaid recognized the man from the ship.
Lu Chuan signals for silence, cautiously approaching to rescue the captured sea creature. He works quickly to free the mermaid, urging him to escape back into the sea.
Shouts of alarm echo as the smugglers realize someone is stealing their prize away.
Using his surprising strength, the chibi mermaid helps rip the heavy net apart from within. Instead of fleeing to the sea, the small mermaid asks the man to take him.
Lu Chuan smiles brightly, lifting the mermaid and making a daring, heroic escape. They reach Lu Chuan's ship, where his crew awaits their boss' triumphant return. The smugglers realize with horror that their rescuer is actually a daring pirate captain.
Yiming asks how Lu Chuan knew he was the one collecting the lost items.
Looking at his single remaining necklace, the mermaid boy recalls the chaos of their escape. He diligently carries his heavy bag of treasures, eager to stay by his savior's side.
A heartwarming vision shows the pair snuggled together, safe within the pirate ship's cabin.
Lu Chuan playfully chides the spoiled mermaid while Yi Meng dreams of more delicious fish.
Returning to the present, Yi Ming worries he missed the chance to perform for him.
Aji is dragged away by his companion, ending the tense standoff on the stage.
Relenting, Aji offers a rare apology, explaining his protective behavior toward his friend. Shocked by the uncharacteristic kindness, Ye Ming demands to hear the rare apology once more.
The mermaid boy is overjoyed by the gesture, much to Aji's grumpy embarrassment.
Aji dismisses his responsibility to monitor Ye Ming's social circle during his busy schedule.
A close-up reveals a silver necklace resting against Aji's white t-shirt and open jacket.
Chibi Aji bluntly calls the mermaid boy stupid while Ye Ming listens in silence.
Overwhelmed by the insult, the tearful chibi mermaid boy looks completely dejected and small.
Aji warns Ye Ming about the dire consequences if his mermaid identity is discovered.
Lu Chuan observes the pair, relieved that the tension in their relationship has finally eased.
The peach-haired artist offers a bag of snacks to the two friends to celebrate. Yi Ming beams with pure joy while holding his new pink bag of treats. The chibi mermaid boy happily licks his lips, eager to dive into the gift.
Lu Chuan and Aji grow suspicious as they recognize the familiar snack packaging. Azi's expression turns stern as he demands to see exactly what Ye Ming is eating.
The package reveals the truth. Yi Ming has been happily eating cat treats. Panicking, Lu Chuan searches through grocery bags to find proper food for the mermaid boy. He wonders if the boy has ever even tried dried fish intended for human consumption.
Lu Chuan advises Ye Ming to interact with small animals to distract from his troubles.
He offers a treat to lure a cat, but Yi Ming is the only one interested. A cat completely ignores the offered snack, much to the artist's visible disappointment.
In a cute vision, Ye Ming eats the snack while Lu Chuan watches in shock.
The mermaid boy realizes he is eating pet food but finds the taste perfectly acceptable. He justifies his behavior by noting that he is not actually human to begin with.
Yi Ming clings to Lu Chuan's waist, leaving the artist wondering if he's too affectionate.
The blue-haired boy gazes up with wide, innocent eyes, surprising the peach-haired artist.
Blushing deeply, Lu Chuan enjoys the affectionate nuzzle from his grateful chibi companion. Standing in the convenience store, Lu Chuan is surrounded by blossoms and snacks. The chibi artist hoards several packs of dried fish, determined to provide for Yi Ming. Yi Ming imagines himself as a pitiful creature eating scraps alongside a street cat. Waiting in the auditorium, Lu Chuan plans to give the snacks to Ye Ming after rehearsal.
Yi Ming complains to Lu Chuan about Aji's harsh and poisonous way of speaking. He sadly agrees that his quiet performance on stage was indeed difficult for others to notice.
Tears well up as the chibi mermaid boy recalls feeling lonely during his own invitation.
He expressively wishes for a solo performance to better catch the handsome artist's attention.
A close-up shows Lu Chuan's relaxed posture as he listens to the boy's complaints.
While waiting, Lu Chuan is approached by two girls asking about the stage's harpist.
They reveal their desire to recruit Ye Ming for their drama program despite his refusal.
Chibi girls explain that the mermaid boy is quite stubborn about joining their performance.
Lu Chuan encourages them to try again later, sparking a wave of hope for them.
Determined to be noticed, Chibi Yi Ming hides behind his harp, plotting a charming strategy.
Yi Ming finally agrees to join the drama program after the girls plead for his help.
The two classmates are left in awe by the mermaid boy's sudden, sparkling cooperation.
Chibi Ye Ming resolves to use this opportunity to showcase his charms to Lu Chuan.
A helpful student offers to explain the performance script to the quiet blue-haired boy. Yi Ming tells Lu Chuan he wants to go home early after the long rehearsal. The pair walks down the academy stairs together, their pace slow and steady.
Later, a relaxed Chibi Ye Ming scrolls through his phone while soaking in a bathtub.
Standing in the stairwell, Yi Ming makes Lu Chuan promise to watch his upcoming performance. The boy's gaze is intense and serious as he seeks a commitment from his crush.
Lu Chuan offers a warm, gentle smile, clearly charmed by the mermaid boy's earnest request.
A full shopping bag hints at Lu Chuan's growing care and preparation for his friend. Yi Ming is deeply moved by the snacks, praising the artist's overwhelming kindness.
Lu Chuan affectionately pats the mermaid boy's head, both of them blushing in the moment.
Lu Chuan's hand gently pats Yi Ming's head, causing the boy to brush. Touched by the gentle gesture, Yi Ming gazes up with wide, shimmering eyes.
Chibi Ye Ming feels dizzy with joy, vowing to try his absolute best.
As Lu Chuan pulls his hand away, the boy offers a soft thanks. The peach-haired artist looks surprised, his expression softening as he stares. Lu Chuan wonders why he felt compelled to pat the blue-haired boy's head. Chibi mermaid Ye Ming feels his heart racing and his body out of control.
Lu Chuan offers a radiant, sparkling smile that leaves the boy completely dazed.
Overwhelmed by Lu Chuan's compliment, Chibi Ye Ming spirals into a dizzy blush. The mermaid boy hides his face, completely flustered by the artist's affectionate words. A classmate asks Yi Ming about Lu Chuan's whereabouts in the drama room.
Blushing, Chibi Ye Ming explains that his friend has already headed back home.
The boy quickly pivots the conversation to discuss their upcoming drama performance.
Yi Ming learns the play's plot involves a Siren King and a magical harp.
The brown-haired girl presents a rack of potential costumes for the upcoming show. Chibi mermaid Yi Ming meticulously inspects the offered clothes with a skeptical gaze. The mermaid boy is clearly unimpressed, viewing the provided costumes as mere rags.
Relaxing in the bath, Yi Ming texts Lu Chuan about his distaste for the clothes.
At home, Lu Tran's friend asks his opinion on the existence of mermaids.
The blonde man warns that mermaids are terrifying creatures that tempt and eat men.
Lu Chuan is questioned about whether he truly believes these legends are mere fiction.
Lying in bed, the artist wonders if the boy he knows is actually real.
Still in the tub, Ye Ming reads the script about an angry, vengeful siren.
Chibi Ye Ming is horrified by the script's mention of sirens eating humans.
The mermaid boy indignantly rejects the script's archaic and barbaric depiction of his kind. Lu Chuan arrives at the door with his dog Chalky, hoping to find Yi Ming.
The peach-haired man looks pensive while waiting outside for the boy to answer.
He checks his phone, holding the device while his dog waits patiently beside him.
Chalky lets out a loud bark, woof woof, prompting Lu Chuan to shush him.
Chibi Lu Chuan gives Chalky a gentle pat to keep the dog quiet.
Beneath the water, the mermaid boy remains lost in thought while hugging a pillow.
Yi Ming answers a surprise call from Lu Chuan while still in the bathtub.
Chibi Lu Chuan explains he is right outside to retrieve a forgotten item.
Panicking, Chibi Ye Ming abruptly ends the call with a rushed goodbye.
Staring at his phone, Chibi Lu Chuan is left utterly confused by the hang-up.
The artist wonders if the boy is still half asleep or simply avoiding him.
Realizing Lu Chuan is at the door, Ye Ming stands up in a panic.
The mermaid boy is frozen in shock, clutching his phone as reality sets in.
A loud scream echoes as Yi Ming sees the call with Lu Chuan has ended.
Lu Chuan begins to walk away, ignoring Ye Ming's desperate pleas to wait.
Startled by a sudden sound, the peach-haired man turns back toward the door.
Lu Chuan reaches for the handle as Chibi Ye Ming watches with wide, panicked eyes. A close-up reveals the artist's focused gaze as he prepares to enter the room.
Yi Ming awkwardly suggests that they should return so he can get dressed. The chibi mermaid boy is overwhelmed with embarrassment, his face turning bright red.
Chalky the dog sniffs around the room, curious about the hidden occupant.
Chibi Lu Chuan firmly commands his dog to move back and give them space.
Hiding behind a stool, the tearful chibi mermaid feels completely exposed and mortified.
Lu Chuan stands over the hiding boy, asking if he'll be late for rehearsal.
Feeling utterly defeated, the small chibi mermaid buries his head in dejected silence.
Crouching down, the peach-haired artist asks the boy if he intends to stop staring.
The chibi mermaid boy shouts a defiant rejection to the artist's gentle request.
Multi-panel reveals Ye Ming feels too ashamed to look, though Lu Chuan offers kind comfort.
Lu Chuan urges Ye Ming to prepare for rehearsal while promising to fix the lock.
Chibi Lu Chuan leads Chalky away, saying he must send the dog back first.
Surrounded by blossoms, the joyful chibi mermaid boy waves a fond and sparkly farewell.
Yi Ming watches the locksmith work while wondering if the artist will drive a car.
A serene transition reveals the artist's bicycle is also in perfectly good condition. The pair enjoys a peaceful, metaphorical ride through a lavender field on a bicycle.
Lu Chuan surprises Ye Ming by presenting a cute panda-themed motorcycle helmet for him.
A close-up captures Ye Ming's soft, affectionate gaze as he looks at the artist.
Lu Chuan stands ready beside a powerful black motorcycle, waiting for his passenger to join.
Blushing deeply, Ye Ming holds the panda helmet while admiring the impressive motorcycle. Chibi Ye Ming is completely dazzled by the cool sight of the artist on the bike.
Lu Chuan commands the dazed boy to stop standing still and hop on quickly.
Behind the dark visor of his black helmet, the artist looks undeniably awesome to Yi Ming.
Shouting his arrival, the chibi boy puts on his panda helmet and runs to join.
Chibi Ye Ming struggles to adjust his helmet while the artist waits patiently.
Clambering onto the high seat, the small chibi boy feels intimidated by the great height.
Confusion strikes the chibi mermaid as he wonders exactly what he is supposed to hold.
A sudden, powerful roar sounding from the engine startles the wide-eyed, panicked chibi boy. Clinging tight, Yi Ming screams in shock as the motorcycle speeds down the road.
Dazed and dizzy, the chibi boy's eyes swirl as the world blurs past them.
Yi Ming desperately pleads for the artist to slow down during their high-speed journey.
Arriving at the destination, Lu Chuan helps the trembling boy off the black motorcycle.
Yi Ming leans his head against the artist's back, exhausted by the intense ride.
Chibi Lu Chuan hugs the helmeted boy, realizing the excitement was perhaps too much.
Tearfully, the chibi mermaid boy complains that he is stuck and cannot get down.
Apologizing for the speed, Lu Chuan gently lifts the boy from the motorcycle.
Wobbly and dazed, the chibi boy walks away while his blue tail trails behind.
Chibi Lu Chuan watches him go, reflecting on the boy's dramatic reaction to the speed. The chibi artist pauses for a moment of quiet, pensive reflection after the busy ride.
A hand holds a shimmering blue scale,
a lingering clue to a hidden secret.
Lutran's eyes are filled with realization as he considers the boy's true nature.
He recalls finding the bathtub filled with water, which further deepens his growing suspicions. Staring at the blue scales, Lutran confirms they belong to his friend, Yi Ming.
The artist decides to keep pretending he is unaware of the boy's mermaid identity.
Lin Ya approaches Lutran at school, asking about the mysterious passenger on his bike.
Lutran dismisses the inquiry, insisting the passenger was simply just a friend.
Skeptical, the greenish-haired Lin Ya points out that Lutran never gives anyone rides.
Chibi Lutran bluntly tells his friend to get his own car to play with. Overhearing the conversation, the blushing chibi mermaid boy feels both shy and slightly worried. Yi Ming waves goodbye to the pair, promising to call when rehearsal finally begins.
Lutran gazes at his helmet, realizing he likes the boy regardless of his secrets.
Overjoyed, the chibi mermaid boy hugs two tiny dolls that resemble the handsome artist. In the dorm, Lin Ya and a friend discuss the artist's strange behavior lately. Lin Ya reveals that Lutran never returned to the dormitory on that specific night.
The greenish-haired man wonders about the mermaid legends the artist has been investigating recently.
Playing detective, the two friends find Lutran's recent secretive actions to be very suspicious. They conclude there is a mysterious and unclear relationship with a hidden mermaid princess.
The gray-haired boy excitedly announces Lutran's return to the book.
Chibi Lin Ya and the gray-haired friend drag Lutran away for questioning.
Back in the room, the gray-haired friend asks Lutran about meeting new friends. Surrounded by question marks, Chibi Lutran confirms meeting a new friend nearby.
Chibi Lin Ya and his friend eagerly ask if the new person is Brain.
Lutran explains his friends have completely misunderstood his desire to build a friendship.
The gray-haired friend suggests they all play together as a big group of friends.
Close-up of Lutran's pensive expression as he considers his friend's intrusive curiosity.
Lin Ya notes Lutran's possessive and secretive behavior regarding his mysterious new companion.
Lutran agrees to bring the boy along for games when time allows. Lin Ya tells the gray-haired friend not to just play with him everybody.
Chibi Lin Ya and the gray-haired friend stare blankly with lingering, silent suspicion.
Lin Ya suggests dinner and insists on meeting the supposed mermaid princess.
Chibi Lutran looks visibly anxious as his friends continue their teasing interrogation. Lutran reflects on how his friends have mistaken his new friend for a girlfriend. A sudden, sharp gasp sounding. Chibi Ming is startled by the mermaid princess nickname. Reassuring the boy, Lutran offers a gentle head pat while explaining the misunderstanding. Chibi Ming clutches a heart pillar while breathing heavily in a dizzy blush. Yi Ming reflects on the girlfriend error while walking up the stairs behind Lutran.
Overwhelmed by embarrassment, Chibi Ming's face turns red as he feels utterly exposed.
Lutran pauses in the dark hallway, sensing a shift in the boy's mood.
Turning back, Lutran observes the boy's palpable joy over meeting new friends.
Arriving at the table, Lin Ya complains about Lutran's slow pace during the outing.
Looking at a phone, Chibi Ming and Lutran discuss ordering clams for dinner.
At the dinner table, Lutran asks Ye Ming if he enjoys eating jilly.
Lutran offers more food while the blue-haired boy politely declines the extra portion.
Chibi Lin Ya and the gray-haired friend whisper about the absent mermaid princess. Lutran finally introduces the blue-haired Ye Ming to his curious and waiting friends. The friends are frozen in shock, realizing the mermaid princess is actually a boy. During a magical game, Chibi Ming apologizes for making a tactical mistake. The group gathers around the table for dinner while their losing streak continues. Determined to win, Chibi Ming and Lutran prepare for the next round.
Lutran reflects on how quickly and easily Ye Ming has integrated into the group.
Chibi Lin Ya warns Yi Ming about the large amount of sauce on his shrimp. Yi Ming eats the shrimp while Lutran realizes the sauce is actually mustard. A muffled, pained groan sounding as the spicy heat hits Chibi Ming. Chibi, Lutran, and Lin Ya rush to provide a drink and fruit. Tears of spicy pain well up in Yi Ming's shimmering, wide blue eyes. Lutran watches the boy recover with a soft, concerned, and slightly amused gaze.
Chibi Yi Ming eats fruit while Chibi Lutran rests his chin on the table.
The friends observe the pair, noting their strange and seemingly private world. As the night concludes, Yi Ming waves a friendly goodbye to the departing group. A gentle, rhythmic top-top sounding as Lutran's hand pats the boy's shoulder. Lutran expresses concern about the darkness of their upcoming remote destination. Yi Ming excitedly clutches his panda helmet, promising a surprise upon their arrival. Lutran wonders about the boy's plans while looking at various chibi expressions. Lutran questions his own sanity for following a non-human creature into the night. Standing by the dark, silent beach, Lutran wonders what Ye Ming is doing. Chibi Ye Ming and Lutran stand together near the edge of the sea.
Lutran asks Ye Ming what he intends to do now that they've arrived.
Lutran's dark shoes stand near Ye Ming's blue sneakers as they arrive. Yi Ming wades into the glowing water, excitedly pointing out the rare fluorescent sea. Standing in the shimmering waves, Lutran marvels at the beautiful sight before them. Chibi Ye Ming glows with pride while imagining himself as a graceful mermaid princess.
Lu Chuan's eyes soften as he gazes affectionately at the blushing boy beside him.
Noticing the perfect atmosphere, the dark-haired artist considers confessing his true feelings.
Chibi Ye Ming panics internally, fearing an immediate confession would be too impulsive.
A dramatic flashback depicts a blonde boy in a sailor uniform shouting a warning. In an accidental romantic mishap, the blonde boy falls into an unexpected kiss.
Sparkles surround Chibi Ye Ming as he daydreams about a similarly romantic encounter.
Looking around the flat beach, the chibi mermaid realizes there is nowhere to follow.
A sudden wet splash sounding as Ye Ming decides to simply sit in the water.
Sitting in the glowing waves, Ye Ming considers pretending to fall for more drama.
Lu Chuan looks perplexed when Ye Ming asks what is on his mind.
Overcome by his own silly ideas, Chibi Ye Ming huddles in a ball of embarrassment.
A festive dinner table is prepared with a strawberry cake and a wrapped gift.
Chibi Ye Ming, wearing cute animal ears, smiles brightly with pure, childish joy.
Lu Chuan searches a room with a bathtub, calling out for his missing friend.
Searching the deck of a ship, the artist wonders where Zhao Ming could be.
Lu Chuan asks his friends for help, but they haven't seen the boy anywhere.
A thunderous crash sounding, Chibi Ye Ming sits in a daze after a sudden shock.
The friends speculate that the boy might have gone for a winter swim.
Lu Chuan tightly grips a blue scale, knowing the winter sea is too cold.
Dismissing his friends to the festival, Lu Chuan chooses to wait on the boat.
The green and gray-haired friends stare in silent worry as Lu Chuan remains behind.
Ye Ming struggles to walk in boots, finding his new human legs very painful. Shivering in the cold, the tearful chibi mermaid boy misses his comfortable tail.
Ying Ming stares up at a steep staircase, exhausted by the daunting climb ahead.
The friends grumble about the fish running away without saying goodbye to the boss.
Indignant, Chibi Ye Ming shouts back that fish actually have very long legs.
Sitting on the steps, Ye Ming explains he only left to buy a gift.
Looking at his heavy boots, Ye Ming laments how difficult his legs are to use.
The chibi mermaid boy huddles sadly, feeling dejected after his long, difficult journey.
The gray-haired friend offers a piggyback ride to help Ye Ming reach Lu Chuan. Moving through the night, the gray-haired friend carries Ye Ming through the festival crowds.
The group enjoys the lively festival atmosphere while navigating the busy, decorated streets.
Hearts float around as the gray-haired friend carries the happy chibi boy through town.
Returning at last, the group announces they have brought a present for the boss.
The gray-haired friend pulls Ye Ming closer while urging him to look at.
Lu Chuan beams with joy as Ye Ming returns with a special festive gift. Ye Ming eats a treat, happily reflecting on how they are finally back together. Chibi Xiaoming presents a massive bow-tied root as a special holiday gift.
Lu Chuan looks utterly defeated, realizing he worried for nothing over a root.
Insisting on its value, Chibi Ye Ming tells Lu Chuan he must eat the gift.
Lu Chuan tries to delay the meal while holding his fork in mild despair.
Lu Chuan embraces Ye Ming from behind, wanting to discuss the boy's sudden disappearance. Blushing happily, Ye Ming repeats that he bought the present just for the artist.
Lu Chuan playfully lifts the chibi boy into the air, celebrating their happy reunion.
A soft, pained wince sounding as Ye Ming feels the cold water on his skin.
Lu Chuan tenderly cups the boy's face, checking if the water got in his eyes.
Ye Ming's face heats up as Lu Chuan tenderly cups his cheek. Chibi Ye Ming celebrates with joyful energy amidst a shower of snacks. As Lu Chuan leans closer, Chibi Ye Ming eagerly anticipates their first kiss. Deeply moved, Ye Ming gazes up with shimmering, wide blue eyes and a heavy blush.
A thunderous splash sounding, the sea erupts as Lu Chuan shouts a desperate warning. Protective and firm, Lu Chuan holds the boy tight against the crashing blue waves.
Shocked by the massive cement block, they wonder who could throw something so heavy.
Chibi Ye Ming fumes with anger, vowing to hunt down the mysterious attacker.
Wearing adorable wolf ears, Chibi Lu Chuan stands by Ye Ming near the shore.
Spotting a fleeing figure, the pair chases after them into the dark night.
Determined to get revenge, Chibi Ye Ming declares he must catch the runner.
Perplexed by the broken cement, Lu Chuan questions how this is even scientifically possible.
Feeling smug and cute, Agent Chibi Ye Ming celebrates a small personal victory.
On the balcony, the black-haired boy watches Lu Chuan and asks about his fun outing. Panic sets in for Chibi Ye Ming after seeing 11 missed calls on his phone.
A sudden, heavy thud sounding, the black-haired boy scolds the mermaid from the tub.
Seeking forgiveness, Chibi Ye Ming gives his angry friend a warm, apologetic hug.
Lu Chuan explains the attack while Chibi Ye Ming describes the huge cement block.
Relieved that everyone is safe, the black-haired boy listens to the strange story.
Chibi Ye Ming happily recounts how Lu Chuan spec'd up to protect him. Poking the boy's forehead, the black-haired friend suggests the attack was Lu Chuan's fault.
Ye Ming insists that the pink-haired artist is just an ordinary human being.
Suspicious, the black-haired boy asks if Lu Chuan had been attacked before they met.
Overwhelmed by the questioning, Chibi Ye Ming shivers with a nervous expression.
Angry and protective, the black-haired boy commands Yiming to stay away from Luchuan.
Back at his desk, Lutron reflects on the day's events with deep concern.
Pondering their future, Luchuan wonders about the biology of a human-mermaid hybrid.
Lutron rests on his desk, affectionately concluding that Yiming is still a mermaid.
Thinking of his companion, Chibi Luchuan reminds himself that Xiaoming is a boy.
Overcome by exhaustion, Chibi Luchuan collapses onto his desk to rest.
Looking at his phone, Luchuan wears a pensive and slightly somber expression.
Meeting in public, Yiming waves enthusiastically at Luchuan to get his attention.
Lutron is surprised by Yiming's sudden desire to attend class with him.
Chibi Yiming dons a secret agent outfit ready to protect his human friend.
Imagining his heroism, Chibi Yiming stands triumphantly over a captured, tied-up foe.
Touched by the sentiment, Luchuan holds the Chibi boy who thinks he is amazing.
Sparkles surround Yiming as they walk together, enjoying their time at the school.
Blushing brightly, Yiming feels the warmth of Luchuan's protective arm around him. Walking side by side, the two head toward the school buildings in the morning light.
The two chibis walk together, their bond growing stronger with every step.
A woman with a bun watches the pair from a distance with silent interest.
In the classroom, Yiming falls asleep while Luchuan watches him with concern.
Chibi Luchuan wonders why his mermaid friend is suddenly so eager for school.
Lutron's gaze softens as he watches the peaceful face of the sleeping boy.
Yiming whimpers in his sleep, caught in a nightmare about a mysterious figure.
Still dreaming, the boy begs for the unseen attacker not to hit them.
Hearing the mumbles, Luchuan clenches his fist in silent frustration and worry.
Gently comforting him, Lutron realizes the boy is traumatized by last night's attack.
Patting his head, Lutron feels a deep sense of pity for the vulnerable mermaid.
Looking at the cement block, Lutron notes the incredible strength of their unknown enemy.
Lutron suspects their attacker is another powerful merman, not a human.
Startled awake, Chibi Yiming reacts with shock as a hand catches him.
In the quiet classroom, Lutron gently wakes his sleepy mermaid friend. Chibi Yiming apologizes for his clumsiness while Lutron checks his hand.
Leaving class, the pair discusses their plans for a quiet afternoon together.
Yiming watches Lutron intently, captivated by the artist's warm, gentle expression.
A soft, happy smile spreads across Yiming's face as they walk together. The scene transitions with a soft, blurred glow as time passes quietly.
Hidden from view, the woman with the bun watches their departure with interest.
Clutching a wooden stick, the woman with the bun prepares for a confrontation.
On the ship's deck, Lutron distributes wages to the hardworking ship crew. Dressed in elegant lavender clothes, Yiming approaches Lutron with high expectations.
Shimmering with hope, Chibi Yiming holds out his bag for a reward.
Confusion sets in as the Chibi mermaid realizes his bag is still empty.
The crew talks about eating well this year while silhouettes move on deck.
Chibi Yiming stares blankly, struggling to understand the concepts of work and money.
Standing by the railing, Yiming offers Lutron a piece of candy.
Lutron asks what is troubling the boy while holding the small treat.
Yiming laments that everyone else has money while he remains completely broke.
Smiling, Lutron reminds the boy that he hasn't done any work yet.
Chibi merman Yiming lazily sunbathes, dreaming of a life without any effort.
Holding his cutlery, the hungry Chibi realizes he has no money for food.
Lutron watches as Chibi Yiming processes the harsh reality of human economics.
Dejected and sad, the Chibi mermaid boy turns away in a quiet pout.
Lutron offers a simple job serving tea to help the boy earn money.
Excited by the promise of payment, Yiming happily accepts Lutron's head pat. A quick, rhythmic knock-knock sounding at the door as someone waits outside.
Yiming surprises Lutron by appearing in a frilly black and white maid outfit.
Chibi Yiming gives a confident thumbs up, proud of his new uniform.
Lutron finds the service impressive as Yiming presents a tray of coffee.
Closing his eyes, the artist prepares to enjoy the drink the boy made.
Shocked by the freezing temperature, Lutron realizes the coffee is pure ice.
Despite the icy surprise, Lutron remains calm while Yiming waits eagerly.
A sudden pained wince sounding as Lutron experiences a clumsy service mishap.
Realizing tea service isn't working, Lutron suggests the boy clean the room.
Dressed as a maid, Chibi Yiming dances happily while using a duster. A thunderous crash sounding as a priceless antique plate shatters on the floor.
Lutron stares in disbelief at the burnt, unrecognizable meal Yiming prepared.
Overwhelmed by the chaos, Lutron wonders if there is anything Yiming can do.
Yiming gives a bright OK sign, completely confident despite his many failures.
Lutron explains that the broken plate has put Yiming into deeper debt.
Chibi Yiming chases Lutron, shouting that he was lied to about work. Relaxing at night, Lutron invites the sleepy boy to watch fireworks later.
Yiming looks up from a blanket with a curious and questioning expression.
Chibi wolf-eared Lutron is confused by a sudden notification on his phone.
A bright red digital envelope appears on the screen, a gift from Lu Chuan.
Overwhelmed with joy, Ye Ming throws himself into Lu Chuan's arms for a hug.
In a sweet chibi embrace, the two friends celebrate their growing mutual affection.
Blushing deeply, Ye Ming considers how long it will take to repay this debt.
A soft romantic chuckle sounding as they share a tender and heartwarming hug.
Lu Chuan and Ye Ming tumble together into a field of white flowers.
Lu Chuan lands on top of Ye Ming amidst the blooming daisies.
Looking down at the boy, Lu Chuan's face softens with a slight blush.
Festive chibis wish everyone a happy new year before the story continues.
Meeting a woman with a bun, Lu Chuan discusses her hospital recovery. The woman with the bun watches Ye Ming with a curious, steady gaze. Presenting a bouquet of roses, the woman offers them as a sincere gift.
Lu Chuan accepts the flowers while the woman thanks him for his help.
Blushing, the woman asks Lu Chuan if they can try dating for the future.
Chibi Ye Ming is struck by shock and anger at the sudden confession.
Fuming with jealousy, Chibi Ye Ming storms away and demands to be alone.
Lu Chuan notes that Ye Ming must pay for his destructive tendencies.
Distraught, the chibi woman takes back her confession and flees in tears. Holding the flowers, Lu Chuan remains pensive about the awkward social encounter.
Lu Chuan watches silently as the woman with the bun departs.
Pouting, Chibi Ye Ming listens as Lu Chuan praises the woman's character. Lu Chuan kindly rejects her, hoping she finds someone to care for Ogura.
Observing her exit, the pair reflects on the pity of the situation. Chibi Ye Ming reacts with surprise to Lu Chuan's casual, friendly demeanor.
A somber memory shows a woman accusing a man of lying about love. The harp string snaps, symbolizing a relationship that will never have a happy ending. Touching the broken instrument, Ye Ming sadly notes that the strings are gone. While eating ice cream, the two friends walk together through the city.
Ye Ming enjoys his cone while reflecting on his own complicated feelings.
Lu Chuan eats a chocolate bar, listening intently to his companion's thoughts.
In a chibi outburst, Ye Ming declares that mermaids simply do not deserve love. Lu Chuan ponders the difficulty of liking someone who does not return the feeling. Ye Ming smiles brightly, asserting his self-love before Lu Chuan can even move. Lu Chuan admits that he has never truly liked anyone yet. Ye Ming asks about the woman, and Lu Chuan explains their brief history.
Chibi Ye Ming is horrified to learn the woman has been to Lu Chuan's home.
Lu Chuan clarifies that his family home is filled with many children. Fueled by renewed determination, Chibi Ye Ming declares he is ready to go. Chibi Lu Chuan wonders if the cat's vigilance is due to fearing Ye Ming.
Wearing cat paw gloves, Chibi Ye Ming reacts with wide-eyed shock. Lu Chuan and Ye Ming admire the adorable cats under the stairs.
Chibi Ye Ming learns that Lu Chuan's family runs the animal hospital.
Sparkles surround Chibi Ye Ming as he asks about the available snacks.
A hand reaches out to grab a colorful bag of cat treats. Lu Chuan clarifies the snacks are pet food, leaving Chibi Ye Ming perplexed. Realizing Ye Ming's hunger, Lu Chuan decides to let him have the treats. Looking very serious, Chibi Ye Ming focuses intensely on selecting the right bag. Lu Chuan humorously feels like he is taking a humanoid pet shopping.
Ye Ming tries to scan himself at the counter to buy his snacks.
Lu Chuan gazes at the mermaid boy with an affectionate, warm smile. Thinking to himself, Lu Chuan finds the boy's behavior absolutely adorable. The chibi cashier happily presents Ye Ming with a small extra gift. Ye Ming holds the little toy, his eyes shimmering with soft surprise. Turning with a happy expression, Ye Ming prepares to leave the store. They run into the woman again who just finished a checkup for Agora.
The woman with the bun smiles warmly, surprised by the coincidence of their meeting.
Chibi Ye Ming reacts with shock as Lu Chuan and the woman discuss the cat's recovery.
Looking focused, Chibi Ye Ming observes the small cat resting inside its carrier.
Lu Chuan agrees to the woman's request while a medical staff member watches from the stairs. Sitting together on a couch, Ye Ming and the woman share a moment of quiet, awkward tension. Smiling, the woman claims Ye Ming's feelings for Lu Chuan are clear to everyone. Ye Ming listens intently as the woman points out they haven't officially started dating yet. Puzzled, the boy wonders how the woman could possibly know the status of their relationship. A non-chibi Ye Ming remains stoic while his fuming chibi self reflects his inner agitation. Brushing off his concern, the woman playfully insists her intuition is never wrong. She explains her previous confession was merely a test to see his reaction.
The two remain seated in the waiting area, processing the weight of their conversation.
A close-up reveals Ye Ming's wide eyes as he considers her surprising insight.
Stunned into silence, the boy can only offer a brief, simple response.
Clenching his fingers together, Ye Ming feels a surge of nervous energy. The chibi woman reassures the chibi boy that her predictions are mostly accurate. Blushing, Ye Ming realizes the possibility that Lu Chuan might actually return his feelings. Relaxing in a bath, the merman checks his phone for news about an upcoming performance.
Chibi Ye Ming beams with joy, thrilled that he wasn't rejected by his friend. Resting against the tub, the sleepy chibi recalls a sweet promise made earlier.
Happy sparkles surround the chibi merman as he enjoys his peaceful evening swim.
Luchuan ponders the perfect reward for a mermaid while scrolling through his phone.
Focused on the screen, Yimeng feels a deep connection to his companion.
Splashing in the water, the excited chibi celebrates his lack of rejection.
A sudden mishap occurs as Yiming's phone slips from his hand and into the water.
A soft plop sounding as the electronic device sinks slowly to the bottom of the bathtub.
Tears fill the chibi's eyes as he realizes he can't reply to his messages.
A quiet night falls outside the window as the narrator notes the hardness of mermaid scales.
Steady hands carefully guide a needle through a shimmering blue scale. Luchuan works diligently, certain that Yimeng is unaware of his secret knowledge.
Chibi wolf-eared Luchuan sighs, weighed down by the impact of the boy's words.
Looking pensive, the artist questions why he allowed himself to get so close.
An ethereal image of the mermaid boy flickers in Luchuan's memory.
He debates whether to protect the unknown creature or report him to the authorities. Success! Chibi Yimeng cheers as he finally pulls the thread through his craft.
Approaching the dark-haired Aji, Chibi Yimeng asks to borrow a phone. Handing it over, Aji scolds the boy for damaging another device in the tub.
Luchuan answers a call from Yimeng, hearing about the bathtub accident.
Laughing, Luchuan promises to take the boy shopping when they both have time.
Luchuan encourages Yimeng to find their great seats for the upcoming school event.
Chibi Yimeng peeks through the door with wide eyes, curious about the venue.
A sharp click-clack sounding as dress shoes move toward the university performances. A stylish man with braided hair asks his companion if they are enjoying the show.
Looking completely unimpressed, the chibi man finds the entire event incredibly boring.
Luchuan notices familiar faces in the crowd and asks for some space.
The music swells as talented violinists perform a piece on the grand stage.
Yimeng takes center stage, his fingers dancing gracefully across the strings of a harp.
Searching the massive crowd, the performing boy worries that Luchuan can't see him.
Luchuan watches with pride while the audience credits Xiaoming for their front row seats.
Flattered by the praise, cheapy puppy-eared Yimeng glows with pride over his performance.
Narrator reflects on the distance to the stage, noting the large, conspicuous harp.
Excited chibis wait for the show to begin, their eyes sparkling with anticipation.
Sitting in the dark venue, Luchuan discusses the upcoming performance with his friends.
Chibi wolf-eared friends discuss the drama of the night while looking at their programs.
Luchuan admits he hasn't seen the rehearsal and is eager to see the show.
Aji warns that humans cannot bear the true power of a mermaid's performance.
Chibi Luchuan says goodbye as his friend heads off to find his seat.
Walking through the dim hallway, the two friends agree the real fun is starting. A figure in a flowing white gown walks gracefully across the polished stage floor.
Chibi Yimeng receives help placing a delicate golden tiara onto his lavender hair. Dressed in a Greek-style robe, Yimeng admires his regal transformation in the mirror.
Looking at his reflection, the boy hopes to capture a place in Luchuan's heart. Overwhelmed by his own beauty and feelings, Chibi Yimeng blushes amidst a sea of hearts.
A splash sounds as the chibi merman's blue tail flicks excitedly behind his white dress. Chibi puppy-eared Luchuan looks on with a curious and slightly confused expression.
Luchuan wonders if the performer is a foreigner before excusing himself to the bathroom.
Chibi Luchuan walks away, his puppy tail wagging as he moves toward the exit.
Looking back at the stage, Lutran's face lights up with a soft, affectionate smile.
Two hostesses in red dresses introduce the next program beside a grand draped harp.
The chibi audience is awestruck, murmuring that Xiaoming looks incredibly pretty on stage.
In a stunning profile, Yimeng stands still with his golden reef, looking ethereal.
Luchuan gazes at the stage, marveling at how different and impressive Yimeng appears. On stage, Yimeng radiates joy, his bright smile shining under the warm spotlights.
Soft pink roses frame the scene as the atmosphere becomes charged with magical energy.
Luchuan watches the performance with intense focus, completely captivated by the boy's presence.
Blushing under the spotlight, Yimeng touches his face, feeling the weight of the moment.
A chibi Yimeng with his golden wreath is overcome with shy, bashful energy.
Luchuan is struck by the boy's radiant smile, questioning if he has ever seen it before.
Lost in thought, Luchuan watches the performance, a soft ... appearing above his head.
Luchuan tells his braided friend to stay and watch while he heads up.
A sharp click sounding as the heavy door closes behind Luchuan.
Left alone in the dark corridor, Aji remains silent and deeply thoughtful.
A sudden heavy thud sounding as the stage lights flicker during the performance setup. The audience grows uneasy in the darkness, wondering if the technical glitch is intentional.
Yimeng realizes the sudden blackout was not part of their original stage arrangement.
The shimmering fabric of the white gown catches the faint remaining light on stage.
Girls in the crowd whisper nervously, hoping someone will fix the unexpected power outage.
Lutron uses his phone flashlight to navigate the pitch-black theater, looking for the boys.
Chibi boys reassure Lutron they are safe as he warns them to stay still.
Lutran's concern grows as he realizes he can't see what's happening to Xiaoming.
On the silent stage, Yiming finds the ambient noise and confusion increasingly irritating.
Seeking to quiet the crowd, Yiming begins to play a mesmerizing, ethereal harp melody. Aji listens as the crowd recognizes the haunting, unfamiliar beauty of the song.
Glowing blue fish swim through the air, silencing the audience with a dreamlike vision.
The music pulls the listeners into an underwater trance, making them feel they are sinking.
A strange dizziness washes over the crowd as the siren song lulls them towards sleep.
Yiming sits motionless, his music creating a spell that feels like an eternal slumber.
In the mesmerizing silence, Lutron finally understands the terrifying allure of a mermaid song.
Breaking the spell, Yiming cheers with triumphant joy over his successful magical performance.
Yiming eagerly asks for feedback, but Lutron remains silent, processing the haunting experience.
Lutran apologizes for being distracted, blaming his dizziness on the stuffy auditorium atmosphere.
Walking together outside, the two boys discuss the mysterious power outage during the performance.
They playfully gossiped about the unqualified person who likely caused the sudden theater blackout.
Chibi Yiming studies Lutron with intense curiosity as they continue their conversation.
A blushing Yiming covers his mouth while the dark-haired Aji watches him silently.
Aji warns that Yiming's performance will surely incite jealousy among the other students.
Looking stern, the lavender-haired boy tells his companion that as a pet, he speaks too much.
The two chibis share a quiet moment of bonding amidst a shower of blue flowers.
Walking through the night, Yiming raises his hand high while leaning on his friend's shoulder.
Chibi Yiming's eyes sparkle with pure delight as he is surrounded by delicious sushi.
Yiming confirms the food is delicious, his face glowing with happiness under the soft lights.
With stars in his eyes, the tiny chibi merman eagerly prepares to eat his treat.
Lutron watches the boy with a warm, gentle smile, enjoying their peaceful dinner date.
Yiming reaches out, his hand gently touching Lutron's forehead to check for a fever.
Concerned, Chibi Yiming fusses over the smiling Lutron to ensure he is feeling all right.
Lutron asks about the unfamiliar song Yiming played when the theater lights went out.
Sweating nervously, Yiming laughs off the question, claiming the melody is merely an ancestral inheritance.
Lutran remains suspicious of the ancestral claim, still feeling the lingering effects of the song.
Yiming focuses on his meal, trying to ignore the awkward tension of their shared secret. Contentedly chewing, the Chibi merman enjoys his meal while surrounded by a playful, flowery background.
Triumphant and full, the chibi boy cheers with joy after finishing his delicious dinner.
Standing up from the table, Yiming prepares to leave after their long, eventful evening.
A sudden, quick rustle sounding as Lutron stands up, his movements appearing sluggish and strained.
A close-up reveals Lutron's glazed eyes as a wave of intense dizziness overcomes him. Yiming walks toward the exit, blissfully unaware until a heavy, sudden thud sounding behind him.
Panic strikes as Lutron collapses, prompting Yiming to shout for him to wake up. Yiming stares in horror at his unconscious friend, his face pale with shock and worry.
Tears streaming down his face, the chibi merman desperately hugs Lutron, fearing the worst.
Night falls over the quiet room, the moonlight casting soft shadows across the empty bed.
Moving with gentle care, Yiming lays the unconscious Lutron down to rest properly.
Yiming watches his friend sleep, deeply troubled by the unknown cause of his sudden collapse.
Puzzled, the chibi merman tries to figure out why his magical song affected Lutron so severely.
Beads of sweat cover Lutran's face as he struggles through a feverish, unsettled slumber.
A sharp, sudden rip sounding as Yiming examines Lutran's sweat-soaked and damaged shirt.
Ethereal wisteria blooms surround the sleeping boy, creating a dreamlike and serene atmosphere.
Seeing Lutran's bare chest, the chibi merman is overwhelmed by a surge of bashful energy.
Fascinated, several Chibi Yimings admire Lutran's abdominal muscles with wide, shimmering blue eyes. Flustered and breathless, Yiming tries to compose himself while tending to his shirtless friend.
A loud, resonant thump sounding as the embarrassed chibi boy hides his face in his hands.
Yiming hovers over Lutran, his heart racing as he processes his deep, growing feelings. Closing his eyes, the boy leans in, drawn toward his companion in the quiet of night.
Overcome with shyness, the chibi merman buries his face in his hands to hide his blush.
Peeking through his fingers, Yiming can't help but steal another look at his sleeping friend.
Hearts float through the air as the chibi boy imagines sharing another sweet, romantic kiss.
Yiming whispers Lutran's name softly, his gaze filled with a tender and protective affection. Confused chibis and floating question marks reflect Yiming's internal chaos and mounting uncertainty.
Lu Chuan calls out for Zhao Ming, his voice echoing through a sea of floating chibis. Drained of energy, the pink-haired boy listens as the chibis demand a big fish-filled meal. Relaxing at last, Lu Chuan offers a faint, tired smile as he watches the boy's antics. Surrounded by blooming hearts, Lu Chuan shares a joyful, laughing moment with his favorite little merman.
Lu Chuan sits peacefully while several chibi Yemings enjoy a sushi feast around him.
One small chibi Yeming stares ahead with an intense and determined expression. Determined, the chibi Yeming boldly declares his desire to date the smiling boy.
Lu Chuan laughs joyfully, appearing completely unbothered by the little merman's bold declaration.
Multiple chibi Yangmings hang their heads, feeling gloomy after an apparent rejection. Offended, the chibi merman wonders how a human could possibly dare to reject him.
Yiming contemplates dragging his human friend back to the sea to claim him forever.
A dreamlike vision shows Merman Yi Ming wrapping his powerful blue tail around Lu Chuan.
A sudden, sharp gasp sounding as Lu Chuan jolts awake, drenched in a cold sweat.
Still groggy, the shirtless Lu Chuan rubs his eyes while partially covered by puppy-patterned sheets.
Chibi Lu Chuan wonders why he kept dreaming and sweating so profusely during his sleep.
Surrounded by floating question marks, the confused chibi boy tries to make sense of things.
Wrapped tightly in his blanket, Lu Chuan stands tentatively in the doorway of his room.
Chibi Ye Ming cheers at Lu Chuan's awakening, mentioning he felt very dizzy yesterday. Lu Chuan offers a warm, grateful smile while thanking his friend for bringing him home.
A close-up reveals a faint red mark on the pink-haired boy's pale neck.
Lu Chuan notices his head feels much heavier than it did the previous night.
Looking kindly at his companion, the boy continues to smile with soft, gentle affection.
Chibi Yeming remains dazed and silent, clutching a green garment to his chest.
Standing back to back, the blanket-wrapped boy and his small friend share a quiet, awkward moment. Yi Ming looks down, appearing troubled and deeply uncertain as he holds the green shirt.
Lu Chuan asks his friend to help find a suitable set of clothes to wear.
A quick, soft rustle sounding as Yi Ming holds up a green palm-patterned shirt.
Lu Chuan stares intently through the gap in the shirt, his expression unreadable and focused.
Clutching the green shirt, the chibi boy looks up with wide, questioning blue eyes.
Lu Chuan asks for another set of clothes while the chibi boy agrees with wide-eyed surprise.
Exhausted, Lu Chuan collapses back onto the bed, wondering what he should do next.
A playful chibi devil merman tugs at the pink-haired boy's shirt amidst floating hearts.
Yi Ming breaks into a nervous sweat, his face flushing deep red with mounting embarrassment.
Chibi Lu Chuan recoils in disgust, telling the persistent merman to stay far away.
Feeling rejected, the chibi merman curls up tightly, emitting a soft, sad "I" sound.
Thinking of the bed where Lu Chuan slept, Ye Ming is overcome by a shy blush.
With his tail flicking excitedly, the chibi merman lets out a triumphant and joyful cheer. Internal conflict arises as a devil merman suggests a direct confession to the troubled boy. A small comical scuffle breaks out between the devil and angel versions of the merman.
The tiny devil merman aggressively suggests using force if his feelings are eventually rejected.
The angel merman protests loudly, insisting that fish like them are certainly not terrorists. A chaotic cloud of dust forms as the two internal chibi personalities continue their fight. Lying on the bed, the boy blushes deeply while processing his chaotic and intense feelings. Gazing into the mirror, Lu Chuan realizes the red mark on his neck is a hickey.
Wearing oversized blue pajamas, Lu Chuan notes that the sleeves are unfortunately a bit short.
Chibi Ye Ming sits obediently, surrounded by floating blue jellyfish and small bubbles.
Looking bashful, the chibi boy apologizes for the state of the provided clothing. Lu Chuan watches him closely, convinced that his friend has definitely done something wrong.
Chibi Ye Ming offers to pay him back, but Lu Chuan dismisses the matter entirely.
Surrounded by glowing yellow flowers, Yi Ming blushes intensely while looking away in shame.
Lu Chuan realizes that he was the one who was actually taken advantage of yesterday.
Crossing his arms stubbornly, the boy decides he doesn't want to help his friend right now. Overwhelmed by hesitation and shame, Yi Ming covers his mouth while blushing a bright red.
Chibi Ye Ming adamantly refuses something, turning away with a stubborn blush.
Chibi angel merman Ye Ming observes that rejection is undoubtedly the most painful outcome.
A hand rests on a thigh as a single, clear plop sounding as a tear falls. Tears stream down Yi Ming's face as he struggles to hide his intense emotional distress.
Chibi Ye Ming's eyes widen in absolute shock as he processes a startling realization.
A tiny devil merman watches as the heartbroken Ye Ming continues to sob uncontrollably. Looking downcast, Yi Ming blames himself for the current state of their complicated relationship.
Chibi angel Ye Ming feels guilty, wondering if his behavior was actually too bullying.
A sequence reveals Merman Yi Ming discovering a human manga book among the coastal rocks. The manga panels depict a romantic sunset scene, fascinating the curious young merman.
Mermaid Ye Ming is captivated by the human romance, his face glowing with newfound wonder. Yi Ming discusses the unique human concept of monogamy with his fellow merman underwater. Filled with a secret longing, Yi Ming stares off into the blue ocean depths. Memories of Lu Chuan's kindness and their growing closeness swirl around the troubled boy.
Lu Chuan stays by Ye Ming's side, gently urging him to stop his painful crying.
A soft, rhythmic wail sounding as the emotional Ye Ming continues to weep quietly.
Lu Chuan kneels before his friend, offering a steady presence during his time of grief.
A quick, firm click sounding as Lu Chuan leaves the room to give him space. Chibi Ye Ming wonders if his crying finally annoyed his patient and caring friend.
Left alone, the chibi boy wipes his eyes and tries to regain his composure.
Lu Chuan returns to the bedside and takes Ye Ming's hand in a comforting gesture. Yi Ming looks at the purple handkerchief offered to him, his eyes still shimmering. Chibi Ye Ming hides his face behind the soft cloth while drying his tears.
Lu Chuan smiles gently, suggesting they talk once he is finished cleaning his face.
A wide, sleepy yawn sounding as the exhausted chibi boy clutches his handkerchief tightly.
Feeling completely drained, Yi Ming struggles to keep his heavy eyes open any longer.
Lu Chuan notes that his friend's lack of sleep is the cause of his fatigue.
Determined, Chibi Ye Ming tells Lu Chuan to get a medical checkup for himself.
Lu Chuan watches him with heavy-lidded, affectionate eyes, moved by the boy's sincere concern.
A soft, warm glow surrounds Lu Chuan as he smiles at his favorite little merman.
Lu Chuan adjusts his oversized blue pajamas while standing before a wall of roses.
Looking bashful, the chibi boy waits for a response with wide, expectant blue eyes.
Lu Chuan playfully interacts with the tiny Ye Ming, who reacts with wide-eyed surprise.
A quick, soft rustle sounding as Lu Chuan pulls the blankets up for his friend. Tucked in bed, Yi Ming watches Lu Chuan with a calm and peaceful expression.
Surrounded by pink hearts, the chibi boy giggles with pure, unadulterated joy while snuggling.
Chibi Ye Ming peeks over the covers, his internal personalities clashing over his next move.
Yi Ming laughs happily, imagining a future confession filled with beautiful, blooming flowers. Exhausted by the chaos, a tiny devil merman takes a nap on the bed. Lu Tran stands alone in the hallway, letting out a long, heavy sigh. Blushing deeply, Lu Tran leans against the wall while admitting his growing attraction. Chibi Ye Ming spots flowers for sale, his eyes sparkling with a bright idea.
A vibrant flower stall displays buckets of colorful tulips for the passing crowd.
Chibi Ye Ming contemplates choosing roses for his confession, finding them particularly beautiful. A sudden, sharp thud sounding as Yi Ming accidentally bumps into a dark-haired stranger. Startled by the collision, the chibi boy looks up at the man he struck. The dark-haired Aji looks away with a profoundly sad and defeated facial expression. Yi Ming watches as Aji walks away, feeling a strange sense of empathy. A long, weary groan sounding as the drained chibi boy collapses onto the bed. Aji sits alone on a tennis court bench, looking completely dejected and alone. Lu Chuan looks up while Aji gazes away with a dejected expression. Wearing a green hoodie, Ye Ming appears deeply troubled by recent events. Lu Chuan worries about his mother discovering he recently dyed his pink hair.
A comical memory shows Lu Tran's mother shaving his head, causing him to weep.
Chibi Lu Chuan cries loudly while the purple-haired boy watches with an annoyed expression. Yi Ming confronts Lu Chuan and Achi at the outdoor tennis court.
Aji blames himself for taking his sister to the beach without permission.
Yi Ming listens silently as his dark-haired friend shares his deep personal guilt. A tennis racket rests on a bench as Yi Ming denies having any dreams. Surrounded by small crabs, Chibi Ye Ming looks ahead with wide, worried eyes. Chibi Aji angrily shouts Ye Ming's name while Lu Chuan breaks into a sweat. Aji gazes at Lu Chuan, thinking his friend remains unaware of certain truths.
A close-up reveals Lu Chuan's focused and slightly melancholy facial expression.
Yi Ming watches his friend while Lu Chuan mentions what others have said.
Holding a red soda can, a gray-haired boy looks on with sudden surprise.
Chibi gray-haired boy questions if Ye Ming was the one who performed. The gray-haired boy sits in a room while Lu Chuan remains nearby. A quick, firm thud sounding as the gray-haired boy sets down his soda.
Lu Chuan questions what his gray-haired companion is doing as they talk. The gray-haired boy realizes that Ying Ming is currently facing significant trouble.
At an outdoor cafe, Lu Chuan asks his friend if he is feeling okay.
A soft, quick swish sounding as Lu Chuan waves a hand to get attention.
A close-up shows Ye Ming looking incredibly sad and lost in thought. Yi Ming looks away, his expression reflecting his mounting internal distress.
A soft, rhythmic potting sounding as Lu Chuan reaches out to comfort his friend.
Gazing at his companion, Lu Chuan offers a soft and reassuring look. Yi Ming looks back at him, his blue eyes filled with gentle emotion. Yi Ming explains that the school is demanding he submit a music score.
Looking down at his coffee, Yiming appears burdened by the school's request.
Lu Chuan rests his chin on his hand while contemplating a difficult solution.
Lu Chuan insists that submitting the score is necessary to stop growing rumors.
Lu Chuan looks serious as he emphasizes the importance of the situation.
Yiming claims he cannot give it, leaving Lu Chuan feeling confused. Chibi Yiming boldly declares he will simply stop being human instead.
Chibi Lu Chuan reacts with absolute shock to his friend's bizarre declaration.
A quick, soft rustle sounding as Lu Chuan places a hand near Yiming.
Lu Chuan warns that merman items appearing in human society would cause chaos.
Chibi Yiming looks dejected and small while sitting at the cafe table.
Lu Chuan suggests providing a different score to avoid using the original.
Chibi Yiming loves the idea while Lu Chuan offers a small smile. Suddenly, Lu Chuan changes his mind, stating that the plan will not work.
Lu Chuan walks away, leaving a confused Chibi Yiming behind at the table.
The gray-haired boy approaches the cafe table with a confident, cheerful smile.
Chibi Yiming recalls the presence of foreigners during a past event.
The gray-haired boy smiles warmly and offers to help his struggling friends. He leans over the table, much to the surprise of Lu Chuan and Yiming. Annoyed, Yiming asks why his companion's face looks so unpleasant. The gray-haired boy continues to speak while standing over his seated friends.
A sudden, firm slap sounding as Chibi Yiming covers the boy's mouth. Angry Chibi Yiming shouts at the muffled boy for his bold words.
Chibi Yiming remains unconvinced, eyeing his companion with a skeptical and frustrated expression. A question arises about his friend's intentions, prompting a moment of close, questioning scrutiny.
Shen Yunlu stands silently, his calm gaze fixed on his friend as the conversation pauses.
Back at the cafe, Shen Yunlu offers to modify the music score himself to help out.
Chibi Yiming stubbornly questions why any changes to the original work are even necessary.
Shen Yunlu explains that without modifications, the score's true nature might be dangerously exposed.
The logic finally clicks for Chibi Yiming, who reacts with a sudden, quiet realization.
Confident in his abilities, Shen Yunlu leads the way while promising to handle the task.
A subtle, sharp spark sounding as Yiming focuses on the departing figure before him.
The scene lingers on the movement as they prepare to leave the outdoor seating area. Shen Yunlu offers a soft, knowing smile, seemingly pleased with the progress of their plan.
A firm warning is issued, stressing the absolute necessity of a successful score modification.
Shen Yunlu encourages his friend not to overwork himself while promising to wait right there.
Chibi Yiming pouts intensely, his cheeks puffed out in a display of lingering irritation.
A humorous comparison likens the boy's indignant facial expression to that of a pouting pufferfish. While walking away, Shen Yunlu's companion questions who could have possibly made him so angry.
Irritated by the persistent questioning, Chibi Yiming loudly declares that the person is nobody. Realizing his outburst was uncalled for, Yiming softly apologizes for yelling at his friend.
A wave of bashful energy takes over as Chibi Yiming blushes while clutching his hands.
Shock washes over Chibi Yiming as he realizes he has been holding his friend's hand.
A sudden, sharp gasp sounding as Yiming quickly pulls his hand away in embarrassment.
Shen Yunlu finds the entire reaction hilarious, covering his mouth to hide his rising laughter. With a warm and affectionate laugh, the tall boy gently pats Yiming's head.
Shen Yunlu's expression softens as he watches his flustered companion with a tender, fond gaze.
A private thought suggests that, despite his kind exterior, the boy might be quite cunning. The two share a quiet, lingering moment of proximity as they walk through the park.
Yiming looks away, his face reflecting a complex mix of confusion and mounting internal tension. Determined to regain his composure, Chibi Yiming vows to simply ignore his mischievous friend. Chibi Yiming remains flustered while his companion continues to watch him with playful eyes.
A quick, sharp click-clack sounding as the braided man types rapidly at his computer desk.
Focused and professional, the man with long braids continues his work in the quiet office. A pink-haired woman stops by the desk, receiving a casual confirmation from the busy worker. A sudden, loud bang sounding as the blue elevator doors slide shut in the hallway. Office colleagues discuss the persistent trouble caused by Xiaolu as they go about their day. In chibi form, the women's conversation continues, expressing a weary acceptance of the ongoing situation. Vibrant blue flowers bloom against a white background, signaling a shift in the scene's location. A soft, rhythmic lick sounding as Shen Yunlu enjoys a colorful, double-scooped ice cream cone. The braided man confronts Shen Yunlu, his stern expression revealing his deep annoyance with his friend. Looking cold and demanding, the braided man asks for a face-to-face explanation regarding the absence.
Sitting at the cafe, Shen Yunlu explains his refusal to let the music score fall into human hands.
The chibi braided man suggests a compromise, urging him to help and then return to work. Looking downcast, Shen Yunlu admits that his offer to help was actually rejected by his friend.
Shen Yunlu explains that he was accused of being a fraud, causing his current emotional distress. The braided man listens, his face hardening as he processes the complicated details of the story. A private thought reveals the braided man's mounting frustration with the entire chaotic situation.
Looking away, the man seems to be struggling to keep his temper under control during the talk. A sinister, confident smirk spreads across someone's face, signaling a potential shift in the narrative.
Chibi braided man realizes that a very bad feeling is beginning to settle over him. Discarded papers litter the floor as a new revision is desperately sought after by the group.
Chibi Yiming holds up a fresh music score, determined to make this final version perfect.
Lu Chuan sits dejectedly by the piano, feeling overwhelmed by the repetitive music score. Overwhelmed by the complex music, Chibi Shen Yunlu looks completely dazed and dizzy. Shen Yunlu apologizes for his overconfidence while Yiming stands nearby holding the score. Chibi Yiming feels guilty, worrying that he has made Lutron unhappy once again.
Intending to make amends, Yiming decides to go find his troubled friend.
A firm grip is established as one hand tightly grasps the other person's wrist.
Lutron looks up, his expression softening as he gazes at his companion.
Delicate white flowers begin to bloom along Lutron's arm in a mysterious display.
Yiming watches with wide, mesmerized blue eyes as the strange phenomenon unfolds. Hand in hand, Chibi Luchuan and Yiming share a joyful, sparkly moment.
The two friends remain close, their happy expressions reflecting a newfound sense of connection.
A bright and genuine smile spreads across Lu Tran's face, signaling his rising spirits.
The focus shifts to Lu Chuan's attire as the gentle atmosphere of the room lingers. Chibi Yiming reacts with wide-eyed shock, his mouth agape at a sudden realization. A mysterious voice echoes through the area, searching for Yiming with urgent calls.
The search intensifies as a megaphone amplifies the persistent shouting of Yiming's name.
Holding a megaphone, the braided man calls out for Yiming while Shen Yunlu stands back.
Passers-by wonder if Yiming is in trouble or participating in a strange punishment game.
Chibi Yiming and Lu Chuan look on with confusion at the loud public search. An angry shout rings out as the name Shen Yunlu is bellowed with frustration.
Incensed, Chibi Yiming reacts with fiery indignation toward his gray-haired companion.
Yiming hops away in his chibi mermaid form, clearly annoyed by the ongoing chaos.
Chibi Yiming demands the return of an item, shouting at Shen Yunlu with irritation.
Mischievous Shen Yunlu laughs playfully, teasing his friend while keeping the item out of reach.
Mermaid Chibi Yiming jumps high, trying to reclaim the megaphone from the braided man.
Shen Yunlu cheers for his braided companion, further provoking the jumping, frustrated mermaid boy.
Intervening, Lu Tran takes the megaphone and asks if bullying others is truly fun.
Shen Yunlu notes that his braided friend lost to humans while the man watches silently.
With a knowing smile, Shen Yunlu mentions that this is not their first encounter. Chibi Yiming fiercely protects Lu Chuan, warning the others not to touch his friend.
A helpful hint regarding beach waves is offered as the group discusses their next move.
Lu Chuan contemplates the situation while Shen Yunlu asks if he has any useful ideas.
Ready for a confrontation, Chibi Yiming rolls up his sleeves with a determined scowl.
Shen Yunlu pulls on his red scarf, his playful expression masking his true intentions. Lu Chuan warns of potential danger, questioning if the risks involved are worth the outcome.
The braided man observes the defiant boy, commenting on how fierce he truly is.
Yiming focuses intently, his determined expression showing he is ready for whatever comes next.
Lu Chuan lifts the chibi mermaid boy as the group shares a chaotic moment.
Smiling warmly, Shen Yunlu encourages his friends to lead the way toward their destination.
Lu Chuan remains skeptical, his narrowed eyes reflecting his lingering distrust of Shen Yunlu. Shen Yunlu playfully compares Lu Chuan to a monster, questioning his surprising physical strength. The braided man holds the struggling mermaid boy, questioning why he must be so loud.
The scene transitions to the quiet, empty music room as evening light filters in.
Hands are bound with red cloth as the braided man demands a verbal explanation.
The braided man looks away, his hesitant expression revealing his internal conflict and doubt. Shen Yunlu urges everyone to finish quickly so they can return home to work. Silencing his companion, the braided man covers Yiming's mouth while wondering about him. The braided man continues to muffle Yiming's protests as the conversation remains tense. Lu Chuan questions the braided stranger's identity and his willingness to follow Shen Yunlu.
Chibi Lu Chuan offers to translate the muffled mermaid boy's frustrated sounds for the others.
Shen Yunlu warns his friend that following the braided man will only lead to further deception. A muffled, soft whine sounding as the braided man silences the boy's angry protests. Annoyed, the braided man questions how his friend can talk behind his back after receiving help.
Shen Yunlu looks back with a cold gaze, asking if he deserves some thanks for his aid.
Shen Yunlu looks away thoughtfully, mentioning his sudden, strange desire to start raising a pet puppy.
A sinister, sharp glint sounding in the pink-haired boy's eyes during his private thought.
Shen Yunlu directly asks the braided man if he can give the boy am.
The boy's intense gaze lingers, his playful smile hiding a much more cunning, manipulative plan.
Shen Yunlu boldly repeats his request, once again asking to take the boy for himself.
A joyous, energetic shout sounding as the braided man continues to muffle Yiming's protests.
Shen Yunlu denies being a pet while his pink-haired companion remains annoyed by the antics.
Shen Yunlu attempts to entice his friend by listing the happy welfare of being his pet. Food and lodging coverage is promised as various delicious meals float in the background. Shen Yunlu points toward another person, suggesting they ask Xiaofeng for verification.
The chibi braided man adds that complete obedience is the absolute non-negotiable premise.
Chibi Yiming and Shen Yunlu react with wide-eyed shock at the pet comparison.
Shen Yunlu flatly rejects the offer, questioning why he should even care about those things.
Promising a journey of more excitement, Shen Yunlu leans in close to his flustered friend.
The two share a tense, lingering moment of proximity while the pink-haired boy smiles. A sudden, quiet rustle sounding as a hand slides stealthily into the other person's pocket.
Shock registers on the boy's face as he realizes his phone has been taken away. Shen Yunlu laughs playfully, asking to be added as a friend on the device.
With a final wave and a casual goodbye, Shen Yunlu departs from the frustrated Burke. Shen Yunlu calls out for his friend not to go as he departs the scene.
Filled with sudden urgency, Yimeng rushes forward with an expression of deep distress.
A sharp, forceful tug sounding as a hand grabs the boy's wrist to stop him.
Clenching his fists, Yimeng tells the meddler to simply mind their own business.
Shen Yunlu gently lifts the boy's chin, sharing a warm and surprisingly intimate moment.
Shocked realization washes over Shen Yunlu as he processes the intensity of the gaze.
As a car travels down the road, thoughts turn to Yimeng's search for loyalty.
Inside the car, Shen Yunlu cynically remarks that even dogs can be disloyal sometimes.
The braided man looks away silently, his golden eyes reflecting his internal, unspoken doubts.
A soft, rhythmic pot sounding as chibi Shen Yunlu strokes his pet's head affectionately. A moment of quiet, heavy silence follows as Yimeng sits dejectedly on the floor.
Shen Yunlu examines a score while wondering what kind of music Yiming liked before.
A quiet, somber scene as Yiming looks down with a face full of sadness.
Shen Yunlu offers comfort, urging the boy to cry if he feels truly uncomfortable.
Heartbroken, the purple-haired boy sobs into his blankets as the painful weight settles in.
Shen Yunlu watches the crying boy with a complex, pained expression of his own.
A soft, liquid splash sounding as Yiming sits dazed in a warm bathtub.
Mermaid chibi Yiming wails loudly while clinging to Shen Yunlu's shirt in distress.
Blushing furiously, Yiming hides his face under the covers, overwhelmed by his emotions.
A sudden burst of genuine joy as the purple-haired boy laughs with open arms.
Near a store, news confirms school authorities are finally punishing those spreading harmful rumors. Chibi Yiming looks contemplative while standing outside the brightly lit convenience store.
Shen Yunlu questions why his friends still look so unhappy despite the good news. Surrounded by teddy bears, Chibi Yiming hides his face while his companion watches. Yimeng stares ahead with a hollow expression, his internal turmoil clearly visible.
Shen Yunlu presses for an answer, asking his friend why he doesn't simply hate him.
Standing face to face, Shen Yunlu decides it is time to finally clarify their complicated relationship.
A soft, weary huff sounding as Yiming looks up with tired eyes.
Chibi Yiming frantically explains that nothing happened during his short-lived relationship.
Shen Yunlu listens intently to the rapid-fire explanation while standing in the convenience store.
Shen Yunlu stares ahead with narrowed eyes, thinking the other man is quite annoying. Yiming reflects on the past, wondering if things would be different if they stayed friends.
In a colorful flashback, Yiming recalls how he and the merman clicked instantly.
The white-haired merman promises to stay by his side as they share an intimate moment.
Pained by the memory, Chibi Yiming notes that the merman eventually broke his promise.
A massive, glowing mermaid tail splashes through the vibrant blue water.
Underwater, Yiming looks down with a face full of deep sadness and regret.
Back in reality, Yiming clenches his fist, his face flushed with lingering frustration. Chibi Yiming decides to confront his former flame to drive away any other lovers. Shen Yunlu reacts with wide-eyed shock to his friend's sudden, intense declaration.
Chibi Yiming fumes with indignation, upset that he is still hated despite his mistakes.
Yiming explains that he left because he wanted no further contact with him.
A small relieved smile spreads across Shen Yunlu's face as he listens to the story. Chibi Yiming tilts his head, asking why his companion finds the situation so funny.
Shen Yunlu gives a warm, genuine smile, his eyes sparkling with pure happiness. Shen Yunlu thinks to himself how lucky it is that the little fish was caught.
Surrounded by hearts, Chibi Yiming happily declares that their meeting was destined.
Yimeng looks down thoughtfully as the gentle atmosphere of the store mingers. Shen Yunlu looks up with a bright, cheerful expression while talking to his friend.
Chibi Yimeng cheers for his companion, calling him the absolute best.
A sudden loud clatter sounding as Ye Ming tackle hugs Shen Yunlu at the counter. Two boys, one with green hair and one with light brown, walk down the street.
Chibi versions of the two friends walk together through a snowy, dotted scene.
The Chibi boys share a joyful moment together, acting like playful, happy puppies.
Walking through the city, the group thanks Lu Chuan for helping resolve the crisis. Shen Yunlu modestly denies helping as the group continues their walk through the streets.
Yi Ming insists that his friend's support was vital to getting through the trouble.
Chibi Ye Ming looks on with sparkly eyes, overwhelmed by how cute the moment is.
Waving goodbye, Yi Ming heads off to class while his Chibi forms celebrate joyfully.
The light-haired friend smiles warmly, noting how truly nice Xiao Mingming is. The green-haired boy agrees enthusiastically as they watch their friend walk away. Shen Yunlu blushes slightly, realizing that his companion is actually quite likable. The friends tease Shen Yunlu, asking why he has never had a girlfriend before. A gentle, rhythmic pat sounding as a hand rests comfortingly on Shen Yunlu's shoulder.
The two friends promise to support Shen Yunlu no matter what obstacles they face. Shen Yunlu looks touched by the sudden, sincere display of loyalty from his peers.
Chibi friends lean in together to whisper and share the latest juicy gossip.
Shen Yunlu remains quiet, his thoughtful gaze reflecting his inner turmoil and doubts.
The Chibi friends nod in agreement, promising that everything will turn out okay.
A fluffy white dog sits patiently as the green-haired boy looks on.
The group mentions a dog named Suafike waiting for them back at home. Shen Yunlu smiles broadly, feeling truly accepted by his close-knit group of friends. The focus shifts to the sparkly texture of Shen Yunlu's dark blue shirt.
Standing before a building, a voice announces a reservation has been made.
Shen Yunlu stands with a brown-haired girl, surprising Ye Ming with his appearance.
Large, muscular men gather as the group is urged not to scare students away.
Shen Yunlu walks alone through the aisles of a convenience store, lost in deep thought.
The group discusses their scientific training, and Ye Ming admires the blonde boy Xiaohei's strength. A hand rests on a book as Yi Ming vows to practice hard in the future.
Shopping in the store, Yi Ming resolves to become stronger and less powerless than before. Memories of past weakness fuel Ye Ming's intense desire to change his life and power.
A firm, rhythmic tap sounding as a foot steps decisively forward, marking a new path.
Yi Ming pauses mid-aisle, his attention snagged by someone else's presence in the convenience store.
A sharp jolt of surprise hits Yi Ming as he recognizes a very familiar face.
Deep in the store, Yi Ming realizes the braided man stands right behind him unexpectedly.
The braided man looks down silently, his golden eyes meeting Yi Ming's shocked, wide gaze.
Chibi versions of the pair reflect on the strange, narrow twist of fate between them.
A hand reaches out, offering a small gift intended for the group of friends.
Shen Lufeng offers a sincere apology and a small ticket to clear the air between them.
Yi Ming stands frozen, processing the unexpected, kind gesture from the man he once feared.
A close-up shows the ticket being held, representing a potential bridge for their complicated relationship.
Chibi Ye Ming awkwardly accepts the gift while unsure of how to address the braided man. Yi Ming wonders if he should use the same casual name that Shen Yunlu uses.
The man formally introduces himself as Shen Lufeng, establishing his own distinct, individual identity.
Joy erupts over a rare exhibition ticket that is normally quite impossible to find now.
Sitting outside, Yi Ming notes that Shen Lufeng seems much kinder than his companion.
The blue-haired chibi boy remains suspicious, claiming he does not know the black-haired man.
Lu Chuan questions Shen Lufeng's true nature and the mysterious source of his past strength. Yi Ming confirms the man's name while reflecting on their brief, strange encounter in the store.
A soft, papery flutter sounding as the exhibition ticket slips away and hits the ground.
Lu Chuan stares at the fallen ticket in horror, questioning if the person is actually dead.